St Paul's High School, Bessbrook in County Armagh. They're preparing for a big moment.
So, for example, the Secretary of State, who's the Minister in the British government, who's responsible for Northern Ireland at the moment, and he's very keen to come and meet you. He'll probably be very interested in your observations. No, you spoke really well.
These 15-year-olds are from 2 Catholic schools and 2 Protestant. Soon, they'll be in Belfast with Bill and Hillary Clinton and other VIPs commemorating that landmark Good Friday Agreement 25 years on.
After the Good Friday Agreement, people weren't really afraid to go to Ireland anymore because there wasn't as much violence anymore.
Abby, what does the Good Friday Agreement mean to you?
Having like the freedom to be able to go into town, having like new companies, being able to start up.
Can I just ask you, do your parents talk to you about what they lived through and how, do they say how fortunate you are?
Yeah, all the time.
Like the change that there's been, do you know, you hear stories of like soldiers in fields and stuff, and it's just, you could never imagine it yourself, because I'm from the countryside, like I could never imagine, and even like the checkpoints and all.
We don't have to go through that, and I feel really grateful for that, like that we don't have to grow up in that type of environment.
It was an environment immersed in a bloody 30-year armed conflict, in which more than 3,500 were killed. Exhaustive, painstaking, multi-party British-Irish talks eventually culminated in a world-renowned peace accord on Good Friday 1998. Dawn Purvis was there negotiating for one of the loyalist parties.
It was a hold your breath moment. I remember nipping, pinching my leg constantly, digging my nails into my thigh, just telling myself to stay in the moment, because I knew this was so important.
Dawn Purvis and Carmel Hanna, a former SDLP politician, are among 25 women who will be recognised by Hillary Clinton later this month for their contribution to the peace process.
We were a very closed sectarian place, you know, going back way before the Good Friday Agreement, but we still have very marginalised people.
For all the progress, tourism included, so-called peace walls still divide some communities, and paramilitaries still recruit.
So we still haven't dealt with those issues and haven't dealt with actually the poverty and the marginalised here. And that was what the Good Friday Agreement was going to deliver and should be delivering.
People who they're like still stuck in the like Protestant Catholic fighting and stuff. But there's
Do you think there are still?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Do you think it worked, the Good Friday Agreement?
Well, mostly it has worked, but obviously there's some outliers, especially with the paramilitaries on both sides.
I think it's a bit bittersweet because it is the 25th anniversary, but then you don't have your government running.
No devolved government yet again. This time after the DUP pulled out over post-Brexit trading arrangements. It remains perhaps the starkest illustration of Northern Ireland's ongoing challenges.
They're in a paid position of power, but they're not like creating any change or helping us, and like there's the education crisis and then COVID and economic crisis. There's so many things going on, and the people of Northern Ireland need their government to support and help them through these times, and it's quite disappointing that the government's actually just not there.
It'll be a potent theme, no doubt, when these, perhaps politicians of the future, make presentations to those of the past, amidst all the anniversary reflections.
There are 25-year-olds walking about today. There are 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds walking about today that may not have been walking about had the conflict continued. And we're very thankful for that, and we hold on to that because it's to be treasured. But we need to do more than that. We need to say to our young people, you have an opportunity to invest in this society, you have a stake in this society, you have a future in this society, and we need to provide the opportunities for them.
We have lots of good young people coming up, and hopefully they will, if they're given the opportunity, they'll take the reins and they will create a better society here. And we have actually a good society here, but it could be better.
Northern Ireland prepares to mark one of the most significant transformative days in its history. But the delicate work of fulfilling the promise of that defining moment a quarter of a century ago goes on.